So I just wanted to throw this out there. First and foremost, I gotta say real quick, shout out to Arcade1Up. As you guys know, I have a speaker issue where I'm only getting sound out of one speaker, and I opened up a ticket on a Saturday. I believe it was the 7th on a Saturday, and the whole process from the time me opening up a ticket to yesterday, I actually received this speaker bar yesterday and the M panel. So the whole process was 9 days total. So I got to give a shout out, credit where it's due. Arcade1Up responded the same day that I opened the ticket up. It was on a Saturday, and they responded on a Saturday night. So I was really surprised about that. And I actually, thinking it said 48 hours, I'm like, there's no way it's a weekend they're going to reply. So I didn't look till Monday. And then Monday, I seen that it was posted on the 7th, that they replied that night, like 10 o'clock or something, the same night. So it was really surprising. But shout out to them for getting, coming through like that in such a quick manner. But unfortunately, it didn't help the problem. So unfortunately, it didn't help the problem. I hooked up the speaker panel from the back here. Obviously I don't want to take apart the whole machine and install it and not see if the problem was fixed. So, I just took the connection here and plugged it in here, took out the original and plugged this one in, turned on the machine. Sure enough, it's still doing the same thing. I'm only getting sound out of one speaker. So I'm a little stumped on my end because I tried everything. I actually, the last thing I did was I took apart I undid this panel on the PCB, and I checked the PCB for anything loose, any connections that are loose, anything broke, maybe like a resistor, something bent. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. I even, on my stock speakers, I took off these plastic caps and checked for loose connection or solder or anything that was not correct, and everything looked good there as well. So also the control panel, the control deck, I took that off. I took off the plastic cover, and I checked that little control panel for anything loose or not connected, and everything looked good there. So that's what's stumping me now. Everything looked good, so it has to somehow be a compatibility issue, or maybe my PCB. I'm not sure. I can't confirm it. So I received the speaker panel yesterday. It was at night, but I was a little tired, so I just, I did dinner, and I ended up chilling out, and I said I'll just do it the next day. So I did it today, and like I said, I hooked it up, and sure enough, still having the same problem. But I contacted just a little while ago Arcade1Up again. I left them a message, and I sent them another video confirming that this new panel here was doing the same thing. And I'm not sure what it can be, but and I explained to them how I tried everything, on my end. I pretty much tried everything. So I'm a little stumped on my end, but I even swapped out the Final Fight, and I used the Final Fight's power supply. The Final Fight came with a 3-prong, and the Pac-Man Plus, this one here, is actually a 2-prong. So I said to myself, let me try that. So I unplugged from the power on the Pac-Man, and I plugged in using the power from the power supply from the Final Fight, and sure enough, still the same problem. So that was another thing I attempted. I attempted going right into the wall outlet instead of the power strip. I attempted different power supply, in the house, and I tried plugging it to a different outlet. Still the same problem. One thing that raised my ear was when I looked into it when I typed it in Google, to see if anybody was having this problem. Somebody on Reddit, it transferred me over to Reddit, and they were actually trying to fix their 40th anniversary Pac-Man that had too loud. For them it was too loud. I don't understand that. That's another thing. That's a whole other story for me. To me, if in other words, if it's loud on the loudest setting, right, and it's not crackling or distorting the sound, it's not too loud. I mean, for an arcade cabinet, it's not too loud. That's just my opinion. I like my cabinets loud. Maybe it was too loud on the lower settings for them, or something, whatever. But he was modding it for that using like AV cables, and he did it a certain way. But he mentioned something about the connection, like Arcade1Up is using for the M panel here. I don't know if we could get this in focus, but the M panel here is it looks like a 4-conductor connector. And he was saying that sometimes, when you plug into something, like, I don't know what this is or what it wants the PCB, but sometimes when you plug in to something that wants, like, say a 2-conductor or a 3, and you put something else in with a mic that can do a mic as well or something, that you can have a problem with this, sound coming out of one speaker. So I'm not sure if that's that could be an issue. But he said something about, he put a link to adapter cable that the 4-conductor 3.5 milli connector goes into the extension cable, and therefore the other end is like a 2-conductor or a 3 or something, and that goes into the PCB, and it could fix the problem of the sound coming out of only one speaker. So I don't know, it raised my ear. I mentioned things to Arcade1Up, and I also asked them if they can, possibly I can speak to a tech support person or something on the phone. This way I could, it's a little easier to tell them everything and, explain things to them instead of having to go back and forth on email. But, so I'm a little stumped on this end. And, another problem is the fact that I'm the only one pretty much with this cabinet. So, I mean, there's really nobody with this cabinet. Oh, by the way, I set up a little yellow bowl top just for the hell of it. I think it pops. I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. But I set up the yellow bowl top. There she goes. I think it looks pretty cool. But yeah, I had bowl tops laying around. I had like orange and black and different things from like my Final Fight cabinet and whatnot. But so I said to myself, I think that yellow looks really good. Pops up, makes it complements the deck a little. But yeah, and I didn't like this either. This wire here, guys, the light cable, goes into the splitter, the Y splitter, because now you have the J panel back there. That J panel back there is lighting up the front panel, so you got two things lighting up. So they both go, both lights, the marquee and the J panel go into here, and this right here, this has some weight. Between this here and everything was hanging, so it was putting pressure, like this was hanging down, and I didn't like that. So I just threw a little like packaging tape, and it holds it really well, so it takes the stress off. No big deal. But yeah, guys, so I just wanted to put this out.